much, John. Okay, next up we have Professor Burawoy, who's Secretary of the Berkeley Faculty Association and Professor of Sociology. We're so excited to have faculty here speak about the importance of cola on the Berkeley campus. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Hello. Yes, my name is Michael Burawoy. I've been teaching in the sociology department for 40 years, and I have seen... Yes, that requires a lot of applause. Now, I've been watching these struggles of graduate students for those 40 years. I watched them through the 1980s and 90s struggle for actually the recognition of their union, and I think we've now arrived at the climax of those struggles. These days are, I believe, historic days. What's going on at Santa Cruz is an historic event. I'm here representing the Berkeley Faculty Association, which is not exactly a union, but I'm also representing the faculty at Santa Cruz. I'm representing the faculty at the faculty associations across the UCs, and I'm also representing, believe it or not, I can hardly believe I'm even saying it, but the academic senate of all the faculty in all the UCs. How dare I represent all those faculty? The answer is very simple. We all agree. Statement after statement have applauded the courage and determination of the graduate student workers at Santa Cruz who refused to compromise on their demands, who took it upon themselves to challenge the contract that they themselves were unenthusiastic about. They struck, they withdrew, they withheld grades. They struck, and now we are facing the challenge of UCOP. And as the previous speaker, John, said, actually, or it was the one before, we can't lose. If she persists in intimidation, the strike will only spread and intensify. And if she conciliates, if she negotiates, that also will encourage us to strike more.
Yeah! That's right.
This is not Homeland Security. This is the University of California. And as we know, we are all in this together. So we faculty salute the courage of the graduate student instructors at Santa Cruz. We support your demands for a living wage that involves food security and living security, housing security, without which you cannot be a graduate student worker. Yes, we support you because you are pivotal to this university, its education mission. Without you, faculty would not exist. You supply labor, cheap labor, as research assistants, as educators. You supply probably 90%. I haven't worked this out exactly. 90% of the face-to-face teaching that goes on this campus. Which is not to deny the importance of the AFT lecturers, who are equally crucial to this functioning of our campus. We support you because you are making a demand that affects everyone, all employees at this university. It is no accident that we live in an age now of intensifying class struggles. From AFT, from AFSME, and now from the graduate student workers. And soon the undergraduates will be deeply involved in this too. We support you because you are fighting for something a huge proportion of the California residents are fighting for: a living wage.
Yeah.
As you know, this is socialism for the rich. And we support you because we want socialism for all. And it is no accident that Bernie sent in a message of support the other day.
Yeah.
Yes. And we support you, last, because it is the tradition of this university to engage in protest for social justice.
Yeah.
55 years ago, almost to the day, plus or minus 2 months, Mario Savio stood on these steps in front of a crowd like you and made his famous speech. Since we're in the era of People's Mic, you remember People's Mic? We will do a People's Mic. Mic check! Mic check! We're going to read out 2 sentences from Mario's speech together. Okay, if I can. Whoa! No, that's not it. Sorry about that. Okay. There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart, that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears, and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus. You've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it. To the people who own it. That unless you have a living wage, the machine will be prevented from working at all. Civil protest is part of your education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor.